Daniel Atai. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigerian. Today we'll be looking at issues with bad roads in Nigeria. Of course, the situation of the roads in Nigeria right now is alarming, such that we'll critically look into it because of the ember month that we have just entered. Today is 1st November 2019. And we know that any moment from now, a lot of traveling will be made by persons traveling far away to their various destinations for the Christmas season. Therefore, it is paramount and important for us to discuss the situation of bad roads in the country and profile solutions to them. I am your host, Daniel Atai. And with reference to the lawyers' protest and the issuance of 14 days ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari regime in faraway Ogun State, we will give you the news that Nigerian Bar Association, NBA or TAB branch in Ogun State, have issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to repair bad roads in the state. The Ogun State branch chairman of the association, Mr. Isaac Ogba, led the lawyers on Thursday morning as they deserted the courtrooms to protest against bad road condition in the state. The lawyers, led by Ogba on Thursday morning, deserted courtrooms to protest. Ogba said that Ota was an industrial hub with over 6,000 industries and as so should have good roads. Even these industries can't produce anymore, he said, because they can't transport anything. Lawyers in the state, he said lawyers in the state too found it difficult to get to court on time, adding that many lives were being lost due to the bad road condition. We are giving the federal government 14 days to make a specific statement on these roads. After 14 days, if we don't hear anything from them, we would move to the next phase. Some of the lawyers were seen with placards carrying the inscriptions like FG, where are the billions budgeted for our roads? Now, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, from our own analysis here in TVM, there are 11,363 road accidents recorded nationwide in the year 2016, leading to a total of 5,053 Nigerian deaths in the first half of 2017 alone, and over 2,700 deaths of Nigerians lost their lives because of bad road situation. Due to road-related accidents, these sad statistics explain why Nigeria has been known as a country with the most dangerous roads to travel. It goes without saying that the poor quality of roads is one of the main causes that led to crashes and deaths for travelers. A total of 5,181 Nigerians lost their lives in road traffic crashes in 2018. The Federal Road Safety Commission said in 2018, annual report obtained that Kaduna State recorded more deaths than other states during the period, while in 2019, according to the report, over 21,577 people were involved in road crashes involving cars, minibuses, motorcycles, trucks, tankers, and trailers. The statistics of death within the first 3 months of 2019 put the death total at 1,618 persons. That is just within 3 months. Perhaps the Federal Road Safety Commission, or NBS, may release the sum total of death from road accident by the end of December 2019, because that statistics is just for the first 2 months. Further analysis shows that the top 5 causes of road accidents were speed violation, wrongful overtaking, dangerous driving, tire burst, and brake failure. Again, the 7 most dangerous federal roads in Nigeria that you must know are: number 1, Abuja to Kaduna Road; 2, Okigwe to Umuahia Road; 3, Makurdi to Otukpo and Otukpa Road; 4, Lagos to Shagamu and to Ore Road; 5, Lagos Ibadan Express Road; 6, Enugu Oka Onisha Road; and 7, Abuja Lokoja Okene Kaba Road. And if I am to add the 8th bad federal road, it would be Abuja to Lafia and to Makurdi Road. Note, out of the 335.8 billion naira allocated for capital projects in the budget to the Ministry of Works and Housing, 124 billion naira has been proposed for constructions to provision of roads. In 2019, this amount is lower by 14.7 billion naira compared to the 138.8 billion naira budgeted for the same purpose in 2018. Further analysis shows that the budget for road repairs in 2019 also got a massive cut, dropping by 56 billion naira. The sum of 103.3 billion naira was budgeted in 2019 compared to the 159 billion naira proposed in 2018. Another painful issue about the state of the dilapidated roads in the country is the fact that state governors and or private corporate organizations do not have the constitutional power to construct or rehabilitate these roads, which are largely known as federal roads across the 36 states. I am of the opinion that the National Assembly or the FG should lift that embargo that seems to be preventing private and corporate interests from rehabilitating federal roads. More so, the FG should ensure the implementation of the budget for road provisions and repairs, since the usual norm of corruption and corrupt contracts and embezzlement have put road infrastructure in the country in a dead hook for over 2 decades. Sadly, it is worrisome to know that in just 3 years, over 20,000 persons have died due to road accidents, which could be largely blamed on bad roads. This is totally unacceptable because it is glaring that we are in more than a state of war against terror. With me in the studio to analyze this is Mr. Habib Oke Donga. Habib Oke Donga is a logistic personnel and a public analyst. Welcome to TVN.
Thank you very much, Mr. Habib.
Now, you've heard the analysis, Mr. Habib. Situation of bad road, this is Mbamont now. Lawyers are protesting in faraway Ogun State. Do you think that lawyers should be the one to start the protest, or the civil society in general? What is your take?
Thank you very much.
Thank God.
As a person, I happen to travel a lot.
Okay.
And the situation of bad roads, like a month ago I had an accident.
Okay.
Here in Abuja. This is not even a state road or a federal road issue. This happened in Abuja. So when you want to talk about bad roads, now lawyers are in the professional service. They are the least affected.
Okay.
To say
the least.
The least.
Yeah.
They are the least affected. Where are the market women? Who are supposed to be transporting their goods from one place to another?
Okay.
Because if there's bad road, it means there will be high tariff in transportation.
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
Now,
sometimes even if there is traffic jam, the tariff
Thank
hikes.
you. So where are the market women? Where are the ordinary masses?
Okay.
This is the problem we have in this country. Now, bad road is not, it's just one of the problems we have in this country. In fact, it's the least problem we have. What about hunger? And what causes hunger? If you have a product to sell, like let's say raw foodstuff, for instance,
Okay.
and you cannot transport it from maybe Benue to Okene,
Okay.
does it not mean that the prices of those goods will be increased? Now, does it not mean that the ordinary masses are going to suffer
Of course.
to eat good food?
Exactly.
So when we want to talk about bad road, it transcends the issue of protest. It should be a general protest. Now look at, here in Nigeria, we are still talking about roads.
One of the basic infrastructure.
Basic. That's one of, in fact, that should be the most basic.
After 59 years
After
of
59
independence.
years. Now, during the colonial era, we blamed the whites,
Yeah.
the British people. We used to say they are the cause of our underdevelopment.
Yes.
Are we still going to attribute our non-development to the
British colonial.
after they have gone for almost 60 years now? So, the issue we raised is something that should be of utmost concern to every Nigerian, not just the lawyers at Ogun that are protesting. It should be a nationwide protest if we are to actually have anything.
And you can imagine, Mr. Habib, when I was gathering these statistics, doing this research, what came to my mind, I put down there, is the fact that 20,000 persons, just from 2016 to 2019, this is October, we've not been given the statistics from February to now, from the MBS or from the Federal Road Safety Commission. But as of the indices so far, the over 20,000 persons have said reportedly to have died of road accident, and they blame it largely on bad portion of road. And if you take a look at the bad road situation from the pictures we're just watching just now, you discover that we don't know whether the budget allocated to these particular roads will be able to tackle the situation. And we also can't say the budget should increase, since every year budget have been allocated into these bad roads, and it seems that nothing works because there is this bureaucracy within state that they used to say this is federal road and this is not our road, and the governors will not have any concern about it. So what would you advise the government and the people to do in this regard?
I just want to correct an impression.
Okay.
You talked about the bureaucracy of the allocated money to rehabilitate these roads or even to construct those roads.
Yes.
There is no any bureaucracy.
Okay.
Do you know the only bureaucracy that is involved?
No.
Corruption.
Okay.
Yes, because since I was born, I'm over 30 now, and I would not want to lie to you. There is, in my own state, where I come from, that particular ward I came from, if I go there today, that's someone that doesn't travel home frequently, I will still recognize every road I left.
The same spot.
Yes.
The way they
the
were.
way it was, the way
Okay.
when I left. So it doesn't mean there have not been budgets on these roads.
They have been budgeted.
Where are the senators?
For
Where are
oversight.
the chairman, local government chairman? Now, there is always budget for roads. If let's even talk about the inner roads. Let's not talk about the federal roads. The state roads now.
And the local government
The
roads.
local government roads. Are you saying there are no budgets for it? every local government chairman that comes in, or every governor that comes in, there is always an allocation from the federal government down to the state and the local government level.
So what do we do now?
The issue is that, first and foremost, there is need to address our mindsets that, yes, there are some big men around. Now, these rich, super rich people, okay, we understand their children are not here in Nigeria. But whether you like it or not, you live in Nigeria, you have a family in Nigeria.
They plight the road too.
Yes. You can imagine going down to my own state in Kogi State, that is from that Lokoja to Okene. The roads are bad. But when you get to where the governor is driving in, you see the very perfect road. So now, when you talked about lawyers protesting in Ota.
Yes.
Now, Ota alone, that is Ota, as a community or as a local government or whatever, is a house to over 6,000 industries.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
Now, how comes? Is it that because these industries are owned by people or organizations, you can actually ask these industries to create these roads, and instead of them paying the government, because I know there is a percentage they pay to government. Okay. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Now, those percentage could have been channeled towards road rehabilitation,
exactly,
which will also help their own business.
Exactly.
So why is it not happening? That is why I tell you that the issue of bad roads in Nigeria boils down to corruption.
And don't you also think that a constitutional stuff, a framework is part of the problem? Since the federal government road, sometimes if corporate bodies and private individuals wants to carry out the road rehabilitation, the government tends to stop them. Say, don't do this road. Even governors who wishes to fix the road, we oftentimes see these bottlenecks and say, this is federal road, they don't want to touch it. And they carry sometimes they plight it with their convoy, moving with speed, telling people to stop, go to the bush, the governor is coming, the governor wants to pass, inside the same bad road. And these same governors go abroad, they see the environment abroad, they come home, they cannot reciprocate these things.
We all know that the Constitution is one of the basic problems Nigeria is having.
Okay.
Now, a constitution that supports jumbo salaries for senators that just sit in the house and not address the issues that they came there to address. So, when I tell you that the issue of Nigerian roads is as a result of the negligence of the ordinary masses, you understand with me. These same people come to your local government. They come they come back home when they need you to vote them.
To vote.
Now there is going to be an election this month. Am I correct?
Yes, in your state.
Yes. And also I think in Bayelsa also.
Bayelsa state.
These people are coming back. Are you holding them accountable for what they promised? Because in their manifesto, or what is it called?
Yes, manifesto.
They always come with promises. I will fix this, I will fix that. What have they fixed? Tell them to show you. It's not about lawyers protesting. The lawyers are even going out of their way to protest.
No, they are also part of the
society. They are
society.
part of the society. But I am telling you that they are the least affected, if I'm not mistaken.
Because no lawyer will want to go and sell his vote.
No lawyer will sell his vote because he's educated.
The ordinary electorate, even among the
people who will suffer from these bad roads we are talking about,
they are going to sell vote.
They are going to sell vote. When you give them 1,500 or give them gari of
or rice
500 naira, they will give you vote and even snap it to show you that the votes have been casted for you. So the issue we are having in this country. Look at Hong Kong protest. Look at Chile. Yeah. Are those people suffering the way Nigerians are suffering? Are they talking about bad roads?
Nothing like bad.
They are talking about
as
policy.
A matter of fact, just policies.
Policies. If they don't like your government policies, they want you to go.
Yes.
So look at America, talking about impeaching Trump. Are we talking about roads there? Are we talking about healthcare, basic healthcare? Do Nigerians have basic healthcare? Because the roads also affect the healthcare system.
Yeah.
Now you don't have a road. Someone is sick in maybe let's say Ghana, for instance, and the roads are bad. Don't you know that even the money you are supposed to pay in the health institution, you don't even have it. You're talking about transport. Because if you...
and look at the the 7 or 8 most bad roads that they mentioned. Especially from Abuja here, the Abuja Central, you will see the road very nice. The moment you are leaving Abuja
to Nasarawa, to Niger,
you begin to experience bad roads. If you are going to Benue from Abuja here or Lafia, you have one single lane. We learned they have awarded it to a Chinese company, but it might take years, for that road.
Once the government changes, because we lack continuity in this country. No government wants to continue from the last government. Everybody brings policies. That is why we keep going back, and that is why there are unfinished projects.
Yeah. So there should be continuity. Had it been the way continuity in infrastructural development by now,
Nigeria would have been in the level of maybe India by now. Yes.
Anyway, the numbers are displayed on your screen there for you to participate if you have anything to say concerning the issue of bad road in Nigeria. And this is Embermont. We are bringing this particular topic to also educate us. Apart from bad roads, we have things like bad tires. You could buy expired tires, could cause accident for you as you travel, especially traveling with expired tires on bad road, double wahala for the body. And then the issue of overspeeding. Overspeeding, of course, if the roads are bad, you don't need to speed. How do you speed on bad roads? We have found a lot of people, a lot of drivers still speeding on bad roads, trying to get to their destination before their particular before only God knows what they are chasing. But once it happens, you won't be able to get to where you want to get to. So it is better you apply road signs, speed limit control, and when you get to a city, you should also know that within a city, your speed limit should not be above 30 kilometers per hour or 40 kilometers per hour. When you have passed within a city, you can increase your kilometer. And even upon driving on Nigerian roads now, I wouldn't advise anybody to drive above 70 kilometers per hour. If you go on 100, it means maybe the road you are using is made in United States or made in China. So you have to give yourself the safety rules. Put on your seat belt and ensure that you drive carefully. If you are driving along Lafia Makurdi Road, is one lane. You be careful. We brought to you that Oka or Kigwe Road and Lokoja Abuja Road, Lokoja Kaba Road, bad, Benin Ore Road, Lagos Ibadan Road, and so on and so forth. We are bringing these things to educate you, because whatsoever you are going home to do, if you do not get home, you won't be able to do that thing. Am I wrong, Mr. Habib? So, and of course, Mr. Habib here have given his take that let me allow you to talk. Maybe you have one or two things to still say concerning the issue of bad road, overspeeding, overtaking, through corners. You find out that despite the bad road, some motorists, especially transporters, they still want to show up, overtake through corners. When your vision is not clear, you see them overtaking. When the vision could not be clear by two factors on the road. The corner that is meandering, the bend, and then the hill. If you have been to driving school, you will know those things. But if you've not been to driving school, you are learning now. If you cannot see the front, if you cannot see an incoming vehicle and the road is not straight, your vision is not clear due to hill or due to meander, due to corner, you don't need to do what? You don't need to overtake. Be patient until your vision is clear while driving. Until you have climbed that hill, and while sloping down, if your vision is clear, you can overtake, because you don't know an upcoming vehicle could hit you, and it has led to many deaths. Of course, you see the death-related numbers that we have, over 20,000 so far. 20,000 so far, persons just within 3 years from road accident. And I think that is disastrous enough. Even Boko Haram have not killed 20,000 in 3 years. So we have to know, again, that is a factor. If we allocate money, security, logistics to fighting terrorism, could we say now that this is another terrorist act, this bad road, because it has killed more than 20,000?
Yes, I am sticking to my original explanation here.
Okay.
And that is that the politicians don't care about the ordinary masses. Because these are people who should be, at least, you come from so state. You are a representative of maybe Kano or Kaduna or whatever state you are from. And there are bad roads. You know the road leading to your own state is bad.
And there are ministers from every state.
Every state. What are you there for? If these issues are not addressed. Now,
and every district have senators.
We have spent almost more than 20 years in democracy now. Now, the essence of democracy is to voice out.
Yeah. But are the people voicing out? If your leaders are not performing well, are the people voice just like the lawyers are doing now?
The issue of I've not even heard it if you did not say it. I just saw it online. No television station apart from you now have come here to understand that. Yes, address the issue. So, at least, this is a food for thought for the federal government and the state and the local government.
And the people.
And the people as well. Because the people are the owners of these people. You know?
Yeah.
It is from somewhere that the president came from. Are his people okay with the roads? If not, why? Is it that you don't know? If you are not plying those roads, aren't your family plying those roads?
They even plight the road and they will even be driving the commoners from the road.
When they are applying it, they don't, everything is wound up and they clear the road for them. At least they use at least that small portion of the road that is okay. They make sure that, when the president is passing, wouldn't they stop everybody from passing? So the best part of the road is the ones they use. So let us not fool ourselves. We all need to rise up. At least, if you claim that you don't know these things before, you are hearing it now.
Yeah.
So as a person, I would advise that the issue of roads in Nigeria should be addressed by each and every one of us, and not just the lawyers or the whoever. So why this thing is coming up now, why you are even airing this thing and emphasizing on it, is because the lawyers have come out.
Yeah.
If it was ordinary masses, they will be disbanded with tear gas. Am I correct?
Yeah.
They will be dispersed easily because nobody will even cover it. But these people are people who are important in the society. That is why this is not the first time these protests are coming up. And there should not be protests for you to know that the people deserve good roads.
Thank you very much, Mr. Habib, for that your wonderful take. And I think with that, we will not be able to pick any call again because I've been asking you people to call, and you haven't called till now. So we are rounding up. And Mr. Habib is a logistic personnel and a political analyst. He has given his take. We'll blame it on both the people, the reps, the senators, the FG. The FG, we know that you've allocated 103 billion naira into road construction and rehabilitation, and also for repair you have also allocated huge amount of money, though we know that this year's budget a kind of slide down with about 57 billion naira. But however, if the president is determined with his political will to rehabilitating those roads, it will be done. And the Ministry of Works and Housing have been operated from the power sector. So since the power sector have been taken from the ministry, we have high hope that the Nigerian roads, which has claimed over 20,000 lives within 3 years, will be put into better shape. This is where Spectacle will stop today. We'll continue on Monday. But however, stay tuned with the TVN because we have several other programs queue up for you for your watching and listening pleasure. I am your host, Daniel Atai. And thanks for watching. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.